Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to the Healing Nurse channel. I wanted to come on here and do a quick video. It's Friday night. I'm already in bed, but I felt like because I am trying to really get my business off the ground, Blossoming Souls, nurse coaching, and concierge services, the day never ends. As long as I am awake, I am going to be putting in some form of work to get my business up, running, and abundantly flowing. So, with that being said, I am looking very greasy right now, and that is because I've already washed my face and I've already put my castor oil. I put castor oil on my face after I wash it with African black soap, and then I lather my face and other parts of my body with unrefined, unprocessed castor oil. And when I tell you it has worked wonders for my skin, I look greasy right now, but it's just because I had just put it on. But let me tell you something. I'm 51, almost 52 years old. I think it's doing a great job as far as I'm concerned. I don't have any wrinkles. Not trying to toot my own horn, and that is not the purpose of this video. But at any rate, I kind of got distracted. This is Nurse Coach Shell. I just wanted to come on here and do a really quick video to discuss how highly inflammatory foods lead to chronic disease. Here in the United States, we have adopted a very unhealthy diet. We eat foods that are very, very high inflammatory foods that cause inflammation within the body, that over time of consuming these poor choices, we end up with chronic disease. These chronic diseases, which are very prevalent here in the United States, includes obesity, which is not a chronic illness. It's just it is just the result of poor lifestyle choices and poor diet choices, excuse me. But we are at increased risk for heart disease, diabetes, high risk for stroke, cancers, um, and a list of other chronic diseases that have plagued us here in the United States. And as time goes on, it is not getting any better, unfortunately. The good thing, though, is that we are finding more and more practitioners that are coming out bucking against this Western way of doing things because they are starting to see that it doesn't work. I've been in the healthcare industry for 3 decades now, and I have watched the tumble and fall of medicine here in the United States. At one point in time, we were very big proponents for preventative care, but over time, I think what has happened is we've been basically sold out. And that sounds very theorist, but it's the truth. I feel like we've been sold out to the pharmaceutical companies and the insurance companies. Even the providers are feeling the wrath of the changes that have taken place within healthcare because they are expected to do more, see more people in a single day, which completely takes away from the opportunity to offer that preventative care with the education that used to come with going to the doctor. If you think about it now, before you used to make an appointment to go see your doctor, and you could sit there and list off everything going on in your life that you want to discuss with your doctor. Today, though, that is completely different. Now, because of the constraints that these providers are under, they are being forced to see more people in less amount of time, and it does not give them the opportunity to give the compassionate care that we once used to pride ourselves on here in the United States. Instead, they are being forced and pushed to run the numbers up, see as many people as they can. And so now when you make an appointment, you usually only get to discuss the one thing. If there's any other topics that you want to discuss, you have to make another appointment for that. And that's just an awful model of care that we've adopted over these years. But again, I think it is the result of us becoming a pharmaceutically led company. Well, we're a country, but we've become a pharmaceutically ran corporation that is controlled by these pharmaceutical companies and the insurance companies. These individuals have control over our health care in such ways that we don't even, a lot of people are oblivious to it. For instance, the insurance that we pay these premiums for these insurance policies, but then they hardly pay anything, especially if you have private insurance through like an employer. They take so much out of your paycheck, and then you go to your doctor, depending on where you work and the type of coverages they offer you. 9 times out of 10, you have these deductibles and co-insurance quotas that you have to meet before the insurance will actually start to kick in and pay, which is usually by the time they're at the point of wanting to even pay 80% of your bill, the year is almost over for the process to start all over. So unless you are dealing with a severe chronic illness that puts you into the hospital frequently or sends you back to the doctor often, then you're not going to meet that deductible every year, and therefore you will not get any coverage from your insurance company. And to me, that is an absolute ripoff. We are paying for something that we don't even get the benefit of using. Another thing that I've witnessed is um, it seems that you're better off in some instances not having insurance, because when you don't have insurance, then you get a discounted rate for the care that you get that is not offered when you do have insurance. A complete racket, honestly, in my opinion, is what this is. And and so you end up with a bill anyway that you have to pay out of pocket, even though you've already paid out of pocket for your insurance premiums. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So, with that being said, they need you sick to make a profit. We are the only country with no guidelines on how much a medication could cost. We have no guidelines on what the insurance companies can do. So they have free reign to decide if we are worthy of living or dying, being healthy or unhealthy. It has no longer become our choice unless we take back our power. And one way to do that is to be well informed. So, and also to um, not only be well informed, but be willing to make the necessary changes to get a better outcome for yourself. So, one thing that you could do is look at your diet choices. Here in the United States, we have been bamboozled into this fast, quick way of doing things. Everything's quick, fast, in a hurry. From what you consume in your body, be it TV, radio, food, alcohol, whatever, beverages, it doesn't matter. We've become a society of quick, 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 quick. What is the word I'm looking for? Quick, instant gratification is what we look for, and so we've become comfortable with getting all of these medications in hopes of a fast, quick, or a quick fix is what we have been looking for, and that just doesn't work. So an example of that would be like the people who are if that big Russian push because the Kardashians came out and started talking about Ozempic and how it has helped them lose weight. It does help you lose weight. But what are some of the ramifications of Ozempic that could pop up later on in life? Right now, there's doing research and is starting to find that Ozempic is causing issues with vision now in people over long term. These things are preventable things if you just took the time to actually do the work by changing your diet, exercising, making these a habit in your life versus taking a drug to lose weight just to go sit back on the couch and eat whatever you want. Do you see how that is counterproductive to a healthy, happy life? And so highly inflammatory diets is what we have here, and that is everything from highly processed meats, foods like bacon, lunch meat, deli meat, sausage, uh, trans fats that include chips and canned goods and margarine, fried fast foods, refined sugars and carbohydrates. That would be the white bread, pastries, candy, soda, omega 6 fatty acids. Now, omega 3 fatty acids are very good for us. They are excellent for um, keeping our heart healthy. for instance, omega 3s. Omega 6s, though, are complete opposite. Omega 6 fatty acids clog our arteries very quickly, and that is things like the vegetable oils, canola oil, soybean oil, corn oil, sunflower oil. All of those are bad oils. Those are omega 6 fatty acid oils, and those clog your arteries quickly. So that is a highly inflammatory thing. Excessive alcohol consumption, that is highly inflammatory, as well as some dairy products and the additives that they have been placing in our foods, like the food colorings, especially that red dye, that causes cancer. And it's been researched and researched. All the other countries around the world have um, refused to allow their citizens to consume any foods with this red dye, but not here in America. Have all the red dye you want, because, like I said, they need you to be sick in order to make a profit. What you could do to protect yourself and your family is replace a lot of those unhealthy inflammatory foods with low inflammatory foods. Foods that are good for your actual body and system, like whole grains, like I was mentioning before, the omega 3 fatty acids, healthy fats and proteins like salmon and sardines and mackerels, nuts and seeds, things like that. Seeds, legumes, lentils, uh, um, olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. It has to be extra virgin olive oil. Herbs and spices like turmeric and ginger. All of those things are low inflammatory foods that will help decrease the inflammation that is already in the body. And over time, you will eventually get rid of the majority of the inflammation in the body. And that can begin reversing some of that chronic illness, the symptoms related to those chronic illnesses, and the need for all of those medications that go along with those chronic illnesses. So I'm getting a little winded in this video, which I did not intend to do. We're getting close to 15 minutes in here, and I'm going to get ready to get off here. But if you're interested in finding out different ways to modify things in your life, if you are dealing with a chronic illness, if you know someone who's dealing with a chronic illness, if you are supporting someone who is dealing with a chronic illness and want to try a different way of dealing with that chronic illness, why don't you book a free 30-minute discovery call with me, Nurse Coach Shell? My website is in the link below, but I will give it to you, www.blossomingsoulsllc.com. But again, it'll be linked below. And just book a 30-minute consult, and we can discuss what goals that is that you are looking to accomplish or achieve, and we can come up with a blueprint to help you get there. I would be your supportive accountability partner, and we could work the process out over the next 3 months to get you in a place that is different from what you've become used to. And if you're dealing with chronic illness, I'm sure it's not very comfortable. You've just learned to adapt and to get in, and you've learned how to maneuver with it, but it doesn't mean that it has to stay that way. So again, if you are at all interested, why don't you book a 30-minute discovery call with me, and we can discuss what it is that you envision for yourself, and we can get to work to get you there. All right, if that sounds like a plan, I look forward to hearing from you. Until next time, peace.